You know, in season 1, I vividly remember there was an interview where afterwards I felt so warm and fuzzy and like I bonded with the person so hard. And now they're blessing me again with their presence. You know her from the Mindy Project, Netflix After Party, and her special, Sweet and Salty. Welcome the very funny Fortune Feimster! What's up? I'm so happy to have you back. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I felt warm and fuzzy too.
Did
so
you? I'm
awesome.
glad. Congratulations are in order for many reasons, but one of them being you got married.
I did. I locked it down. I was like, we're in a pandemic. What else do we have to do? Let's get married.
Yeah, well, how was it? Was it a Zoom wedding? How did you go about it?
Yeah, I mean, we were gonna have like a regular wedding, and obviously everyone's plans this last year were null and void. And we just thought we'd been together almost 6 years, and we just did it. We rented a small house and had 5 friends. Everyone tested. It was like outdoor. And yeah, the Zoom part though was very last minute because we were like 5 minutes before the ceremony and we were like, wait, we should probably invite our families. And so we sent a Zoom link out as fast as possible. I might have accidentally left off a brother.
Wow, that's called getting married for the right reasons. And you're like, no one has to be here, it's for ourselves. I feel like I would be the exact opposite. I'd be like, I need 1,000 people witnessing how dope I look right now. Send the Zoom link to everyone. But wait, how do you pick the 5 friends that get to be there in person?
That was tough because, you know, we have a lot of people we're close to and that we want to, you know, share that day with.
Also low-key less expensive.
Hello, come on now. I'm not gonna lie, that part was pretty nice.
You've gotten married, you're winning at life, but also you're having a little bit of a, dare I say, hair renaissance. Oh, we've got a pic. Let's show a pic. Bam! Now, is this your real hair?
It is. I can't believe it. People are really blowing my mind with my own hair because I just rock a fro constantly.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of hair, I gotta ask. You're co-host for the Netflix After Party. We got David Spade, we got London Hughes, and you talk to the cast of many Netflix shows. Does this mean you have to watch every Netflix show? Because there's a lot.
There's a lot. I would not be able to watch them all, but every week we highlight a different show or movie, and so part of the job is to watch whatever we're gonna be talking about. So sometimes it's shows that I might not be like the target demographic for it, you know? Like we had Fate, the Winx Saga on, and I'm all like, I'm mature. I don't need a show about fairies. And then I was like hooked, and I was like, what's gonna happen to Farrell? Oh my gosh. I'm so into it.
So you gotta watch all of these shows. And so what does your workday kind of look like? Because this is one part of what you do. So are you just in front of your TV all day long?
I mean, I am like the Netflix queen right now because I start my mornings doing a radio show for Netflix, and it's all comedy. We watch every stand-up special that's, you know, coming out, and then usually I'm filming something during the day, and then at night is when is the wind down, and that's when I have to watch Fate the Winx Saga or whatever it is. It's for work. Meanwhile, I'm obsessed.
I love that so much. We gotta talk about Yes Day, your new Netflix movie with Jennifer Garner. Tell me all the things.
Oh man, that was such a treat. We filmed that right before everything shut down. Where a family agrees to say yes to everything for 24 hours. I play an ambulance driver who comes across the family, and it was so cool because Jennifer Garner, I mean, come on now.
Is she as perfect as I think she is?
She truly is as perfect as you think. I mean, she was waking up in the morning and, you know, I barely was like rolled out of bed, and she was like, oh, I've been like Zooming with an elementary school in West Virginia where I've been reading them books, and I'm like, yeah, same. I was just really nervous to meet her because my very first day on the set, I had to drive an ambulance. I was like, clearly someone's gonna be driving this for me. And I'm like, no, that's you, girl. And so I had to learn how to, you know, this is a giant machine I'm driving, and there's all these buttons, and there's like an air brake and sirens, and I'm like trying to drive this freaking ambulance. And I'm like, please do not kill Jennifer Garner driving an ambulance. And then you're also trying to like say lines to her. And I kept messing up my lines because I'm like, oh wait, the air brake goes now. And then and I had to be like, I promise I know my lines. I promise I'm not a bad actor. Let me get the ambulance down and then we'll do the lines. But she was so wonderful and made me laugh, and it was great.
Wait, so when you got to set, they told you you'd be driving the ambulance?
I mean, I knew I wasn't playing an ambulance driver. I just wasn't sure the extent of my drive. Well, you know, I didn't know if we'd be like, you know, in a field somewhere. Because when I filmed Office Christmas Party, I was in a back lot in a car with Jennifer Aniston in the back. I like to drive very famous Jennifers. And and this, we were, you know, they had the road closed off, but it was a real road and there were cars lined up on the street, and I was like, ah! You know, so they gave me, you know, they made me, you know, feel very safe. They went through all the instructions. They do all the protocols, but you're still nervous.
Of course.
Because Jennifer Garner is sitting right beside you. And I mean, imagine I get nervous just driving somebody in my regular car.
100%.
You
Driving
know,
is
like,
stressful.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, you turn into like you're doing a driver's ed test as soon as someone gets in your car. Yeah. And imagine that with an ambulance.
I completely agree. Anytime this is gonna sound unsafe, and you know what, it is. Anytime someone is in the passenger seat with me, I forget how to merge. It happens all the time. Where I'm like, oh, there's too much pressure. They're watching, they're judging my timing. It's too much pressure.
Or suddenly you're like real brake heavy and you're both like doing this and you're like, I'm just being extra cautious. I'm sorry.
It's also because when you're driving, you don't realize it. Like when I'm braking, I don't realize it, but then someone in my passenger's like, I'm like, do I brake aggressively?
Hey, I think I'm like a great driver, and then my wife gets in the car and I'm like, I might be a terrible driver.
Well, I'm sure you did great. Let's check out a clip real quick.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just got into a fight with my husband.
And you want me to beat him up?
No, nothing like that.
Give him a wedgie?
No. It's just that today was the first day in like a year where I felt like we were really in it together.
Yeah.
And then he just had to go and be a wuss.
Sounds like Karen. She's mad because I took our life savings and bought a fleet of ambulances, and I barely know how to drive this one.
Fleet of ambulances. I love it. Hashtag relatable. Now, I gotta ask you, you've played a range of characters. Is there any role that you haven't played yet where you're like, that is my dream role, I want to do that?
You know, I really want to be in like a scary movie where, you know, like where you're going down a long driveway and there's like a abandoned house and someone peeks through the window and then that person walks out and they're just like, you know, like they're scary. I want to be that person that's just like, what are you doing down here in my driveway? I don't know if that's what a character would sound like.
Dude, you nailed that. You nailed that.
You know, how about a no trespassing movie? Hey, you trespassing on my land? Like, why has that not been made yet? Come on. And it's called No Trespassing. I mean, it's writing itself.
Thanks so much for watching this clip, and thank you even more for supporting The Underdog. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you can click right over there. For more clips just like this one that are hilarious, you can click right over there. Hopefully, if someone did their job, those things are there. We'll see.